Okay, we are kind of standing on one spot because indeed it's very difficult to express and to pinpoint the principle here. We are going to the third line from the bottom of the top section on page Ches. The line begins from mi-harishumu. The Rebbe is explaining here to us the reshimu. This is a term we find in Kabbalah. That after the tzimtzum means that the Ein Sof has been retracted, removed. Ein Sof is a representation of the presence of God Himself, Atzmus. This is the Ein Sof. The Oir has been retracted, and what remains is a reshimu. So we kind of have a little bit of a grasp, a little bit. We can relate to the principles in this. We said many times all kinds of different situations, all different demonstrations of the Inyan. In the human being, there are definitely at least these two elements, these two levels. Like we're talking in terms of walking. There's the walking and there's the going. Going is an oir. Going is an intelligent concept. Only the intellect understands the principles of going. Walking is a completely different level. This is part of the world.
So I was asking.
So, I'm sorry. Tell him I'm calling right in. You see, I owe him an apology because he got upset with our friend over here, and I forgot to call him.
Welcome to IDT. Welcome. At the tone, please record your name followed by the pound key.
Abba Paltiel.
Thank you. You are participant number 3.
Okay, sorry. So in the human being, there are clearly these two levels, these two qualities. There's the oir and there's the keli. Namely, there is the intellectual meaning of his presence and how he identifies his presence in the world and so forth, what he's participating in. And then there is the factual action. There cannot be an action without the oir. There cannot be oir without the lower level.
There cannot be or without the lower level.
The lower level. Like we said many times, you have a home, you have not a stitch of furnishings in it. Is that represent a home in a full sense of the word?
Why can't okay, but we learned before that the or is connected with the atzmus, so it is self-explanatory, it stands on its own. It can exist even...
The oil, yes, but not in the human being. In the way. So after the tzimtzum, we have these two elements. There's the oil, and then there is the reshimu. What is the reshimu? So we explained today. It really gave me a handle of how to present it. Reshimu, we said, is the trace. When you have something written and then you erase it, and there's a trace left of the original writing. This trace, on the one hand, it represents an original writing.
Right.
but it is without any oil. There's nothing there, it doesn't tell you anything. There's no oil in it, there's no message. Just says, oh yes, there is such a thing. There's not a real coherent meaning in this truth. That means it was because the oil element has been removed.
Is it the or element or is it the keli element?
No, the oil element has been removed, and what remains is a keli without an oil, and there's nothing to it.
Oh.
Or at least the source of the keli. The reshimu is thus the source of the keli. But the actual creation of the kelim is from the oil, because his havus, the creation, bringing things forth, has to be only from oil. Again, we have a clear thing of all the things that we've discussed. When a carpenter puts together a table, I don't have to describe it again, everybody knows exactly what takes place. He puts together every piece individually. He takes this stick and he knocks in a nail and puts in some glue and puts it together. What motivates and what directs this entire process? It cannot be just because there are pieces of wood, and these pieces of wood can be glued together, and he goes and glues them together. Even if the kit, so to speak, is complete, if you do not have a perspective of what this kit stands for, you can never put it together. Even if everything fits perfectly. There has to be oil. His havus, the actual creation is from the oil.
I think I'm getting this piece, and also that even the kalim come from the or, but I missed what reshimu does
Reshimu reveals the coarse element of the oil. What is the coarse element? Like I said in our morsel, right? The walk in contrast to the goal. It's all part of the same thing. You can't have a goal without being able to walk.
Okay.
But this is the coarse element of it.
On the one hand, we're saying that the keli comes from the or, so that would mean that man is on earth and he's going someplace, and the keli for that is the walking. So that's fine. So where's reshimu come in again?
I'm sorry that we're going back all the way. The whole principle that there are two places. There's a distance between one place and another. That distance is already not the primary reality. I'm saying the primary reality is that a person is where he wants to be. The entire reality is where he is. But when it comes down to a lower level of recognizing the presence of this reality, like we said, at a glance I see the entire panorama. But then when I reflect on it, this entire panorama is miles and miles across. And each mile is a separate place.
That's like the keli.
That's like revealing the coarseness. That's right. The presence, the closer to the physical element. Because the presence itself, the fact that I can see that the reality is because it's real, because there is a creator behind it.
So this where we sang coarseness. This is like an additional feature of keli.
No, it's not additional. This is the initial feature of keli.
Is it okay to think that kelim are coming both from the or and from the reshimu?
Yes,
Okay.
it definitely so. The reshimu is what elicits the whole union of kelim, but what actually reveals them is the oil. Like we said in the case of the carpenter, I mean every issue that every element, motion that we use has the same inyonim. You have to really identify it. You have a kit for a table. Everyone knows if you have a kit you want to put together, the kit is perfectly designed. Can you put it together without knowing what you are building?
No, of course not.
So that mashal is showing the importance of or? Or
Yeah.
Okay.
Not the important. This is what creates it.
Right.
Although all you're doing is fitting together little pieces.
And does reshimu come into that mashal of the table?
The reshimu, this is the little pieces. And if you have a kit of a table, it's a reshimu of a table. It's not a real table.
Uh-huh.
It's a skeleton.
This is subtle. This is complicated. Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. It's complicated. I want you to know the capacity, the ability to understand it is beyond the complication. It's in the life element. You're a living human being. All right. In every aspect of our activities, we find this in it. And once, you know these C-fold napkins. You know what a C-fold is? Napkin that's folded in three ways. Two edges are folded in. Then you have a flat area, and then you pile them up, and it's a very smart way of setting it up because you can pick it up easily. You have the edge. No, that's okay. That's a little different. That's the edge that you can easily access and take it out. A C-fold. Everybody knows what that is.
What do you call it?
A C-fold. A C.
Like the letter C. A C fold?
Fold. Never heard of that. Okay, but that's what these larger napkins are. C-fold. Very smart way of presenting it. Very easy access and so on and so forth. Okay. So sometimes you watch these guys setting it up like for use. So they take these C-fold napkins and they put them upside down. They put them with the flat edge out. So you're canceling out the whole design. In other words, even at the lowest level, if you want to do something, you have to have seichel. You have to know what you're doing. It's a very simple thing to pile up these napkins. But if you don't use your brain, you're going to cancel out the whole value of all the design. You know, the C-fold is a very special machinery to create it, and the designer probably made millions of dollars. in one move you can cancel out the whole value of it. If you don't use your gray matter. I'm putting it on. You can't do it with your hand. You have to do it with gilui, with seichel. Okay, 3 lines from the end of the top section of page Ches. The line begins so the shayrish of the kelim, although the kelim are revealed through the oir, but the real source of their presence is the reshimu. The shayrish ha'oiros, but the root and the oiros hey me'etzem hakav. It is from the kav itself. What is the kav? Shehu bechinas hagil de'oirin soiv shelifnei hatzimtzum. The kav actually is the oirin soiv shelifnei hatzimtzum. Gilui oirin soiv shelifnei hatzimtzum, as we said before, this is the gilui that comes directly from atzmos. But the kav is this oirin soiv shenimshach ha'har hatzimtzum, that continues to present itself after the tzimtzum. Ve'al kein ha'oiros hey bli ma. And this is why the oiros are described as being bli ma. Bli ma means without a what. We already discussed it on Monday. The oiros do not consist, cannot be described as what is the presence about. Because it represents a fundamental truth. Like we said many times, Elokus is undefinable. What is it about? What is it for? It's reality itself. Bli ma. And the oiros, even after the tzimtzum, are essentially bli ma, because it's the same oir that was there before that comes from before the tzimtzum, from Ayin Sof. Loi bi bechinas mehus u mitzias dober. Bli ma means that they are not in the realm of bechinas mehus u mitzias dober, an entity and a presence. Mitzias dober we already discussed, I think, quite extensively. Mitzias means something that claims a presence just because I'm present. Oiros do not have a presence. Oiros have only a message. We speak about this all the time around India, okay? What is the significance of a human being sitting by a table? There is none. There's no mitzias there. It's an undefinable element. It emanates directly from the human quality, human dignity. It's undefinable. No mitzias there. V'zehu, and thus this is what this whole discussion of the Eiros in Kelim, Beis hamadrege shebehavamutza de'atzilus. The two madreges that are present and that constitute and enable Atzilus to be a mamutza. Mamutza means an intermediary. Intermediary means that which connects two different elements. Atzilus is called a mamutza. What is it a mamutza about? What is that? What is it mamatze? What does that connect? It bridges between the Oirin Soif and world. Shehoiros, when the Oiros in Atzilus, hey me Oirin Soif hamatzil, shebhamamutza. This is the Oiros. This is the presence of the Oirin Soif hamatzil in this mamutza in Atzilus. Kelim, and then the kelim hey masha be'erchanivroim. The kelim is in Atzilus that aspect that is be'erchanivroim, that is in proximity that the Nevroim can also relate to and understand. And the challenge, putting it back to our realm and to our understanding and the significance of this for us, the challenge for us is, although we will use only the kelim, that's the only way that we can function. But we must not lose sight of the oil. This is the real challenge. This is where the human being is unique. He is in the world, but he is intelligent. Intelligent means he brings a different significance to the world. And the significance that he brings is extremely subtle. It's a non-presence. But he insists that this is the right thing. This is the right way to do it. Furthermore, Yodua, it is known the HaTorah Higamke Memutza, that the Torah too is a Memutza, qualifies as an intermediary. Ein Hoirin Soif al Hoilam Eis, between Oirin Soif, the Oirin Soif, the Oirin Soif. Let's remind ourselves again. It's interesting that the Rebbe says Ho'erin Sof, not Oirin Sof. Ho'erin Sof means the Oirin Sof as it emanates from its source. This is one of the more subtle inyonim that we recognize in our intellect, but we lose sight of it all the time. Because the physical world speaks of everything as an entity, as a presence. But you have to know where that presence comes from. The real significance of this presence is it's the oil that created its origin. What is it about? Like we say all the time, there's a table. Oh, table, yeah, I see. This is a certain shape of wood and all. What is the table? Table is the human spirit. That is what this is all about. This is why it occupies this place in your room. That is not, in a sense, not part of the table. Table is only a reshimu, just a representation of it on a physical level. We must not lose sight of its origin, of what it stands for. So the Torah is also a mamutza ben hoirin soif, between the oirin soif, the oirin soif. This is the oirin soif as it emanates from its source, from the real, from the Atzmos truth. Because that is the significance of the oirin soif. However big it is insignificant. It is what it brings to fore. That's significant. El Ha'olamis, and he connects it to the world. U'kamaimer, and as the statement in the Gemara, not in the Gemara, in Zohar. Now we have footnotes for everything. U'kamaimer, as a saying of course it's in the Zohar, Istakil be'iraisu bor alma, that Hashem has designed the world first in Torah, and then Istake B'Iraisa, then he referred back to his plan, which is in the Torah. He looked into the Torah, Ubora Alma, and on the basis of that plan, he created the world. This is exactly how the Zohar describes the whole in of Torah. HaTorah Imeres, which means that the Torah says, Ani hoyisi kliyum nosei. I was kliyum nosei. I was the vessel with which he created the world. Which is actually in Medrash. The kiyum kol hadvorim hagashmiyim, which means that the kiyum, the sustenance, which means the continued being of kol hadvorim hagashmiyim, of all gashmizik things, v'hizhavuson, and their coming forth. Mi-Ayin liyesh, from non-being into being, hu alidei ha-Torah de-Asiya. This is alidei ha-Torah, through the Torah. The Asiya, the Torah, as it comes down into our world. I want to discuss a couple of these words here. Kiyum kol advarim hagashmi. Kiyum means the sustenance, the continued being, the continued existence. So we had very simple illustrations of this principle. Again, we have a table. The table is, as well as it is put together, it is still a structure that is held together by various means, but it's not one entity. It's not a block of wood. It is pieces of wood glued together and strung together in a very capable way. Still, it is vulnerable to breakage. What gives it a key, and what guarantees its continued presence, health? It is the spirit that created it initially.
What guarantees its health?
What?
What does the spirit do? What does it guarantee?
It's continued existence. If a table breaks, what happens?
Okay, it loses the human connection.
No. If a table breaks, you go and you either fix it or build another one. That was it is there not because of virtue of its physical presence. It's there because of the spirit of the human spirit that gave it a presence to begin with. This means key. What gives it a presence? Indefinite presence, way beyond its physical structure. There cannot build a table that is invulnerable to breakage. But in essence, it is invulnerable. Because if it breaks, it's going to be fixed. Invariably. And if it's not fixable, it's going to be replaced. Shakol hadvorim hagashmi. So the kiyum of all dvorim hagashmi is from the Torah. As the Torah Dasid, they had been from the Torah Dasid. The Torah Dasid descended in Olam Hasir. Shakol hadvorim hagashmi maksuvim b'Torah, which means that all the physical aspects that are mentioned in the Torah, heim chiyusam v'kiyumo. These mentioning and these utterances in the Torah, this is chiyusam, this is the highest for all the things in the world. and this is what gives it a sustenance, what makes it continue to be.
The fact that they're written in Torah?
Yeah. Because that gives it a real presence. All right, this is it for this morning. And the best that I can remember, it's Thursday. And therefore we have another session this evening. Mitzvah